So, you're going to Comic-Con. Hey everyone, Hybrid Toy Reviews here with a Topical Tuesday. This week's topic is going to basically be talking about some tips for Comic-Con. This week, I am going to ICCC down in Nashville. It's going to be a great time, but not only am I going, I'm going with a litany of friends. I'm going with Jackson and Jacob from the 1313 podcast, Obi Sean, their dad. We're meeting Hunter Schultz, Skywalker Hendricks. We're probably going to hang out with Out of the Basement at some point, Luke Ness Monster, Zach from Black Series Cantina. We're all going to be there hanging out. It's going to be a great time, but I've been getting some questions. So most of these are from 1313 Jackson, so I'm going to say that this is his episode. I like to do Topical Tuesday based on like questions that are submitted, right? So I'm going to say this is Jackson's episode. So thanks for asking a lot of questions, Jackson. Basically, I do a lot of convention trips. This is a small fraction of my autograph collection. I go to a lot of cons, I travel out of state, I go to local small town ones, name a Comic-Con. If it's within 2 hours drive, I've probably been there. If it's big and somewhere on the East Coast, there's a shot. So I get around a bit, and so I consider myself a resource of knowledge on this. I go to a lot. And there's questions that I had at my first con that I didn't have anyone to ask, so I'm hoping that maybe some information I share in this one would be useful to you. So, for starters, I'm going to share a little bit about my pack out, my kit when I go to Comic-Con. I have been carrying this backpack to every Comic-Con I've ever been to. Check out any of my autograph collection videos. Every one of those autographs more or less has been in this backpack at one point. This is just a basic school-size backpack I got from Target years ago, and it's held up very well. It's an Outdoor Products. I don't think they're a name brand, but it was just a nice backpack. I've carried it for a long time. I've enjoyed it. It's served me well. It's going to ICCC with me this week. This average school-size backpack will hold about 4 Funko Pops in protectors, and then have room for a Black Series figure or two, or it will carry a bunch of Black Series with no pops, or whatever you can fit in there. So I've been very satisfied with that. Inside of said backpack, I used to carry a folder for my paperwork, but I've recently evolved. I now carry this storage clipboard, which I've decorated with all sorts of stickers I've procured from friends and picked up at different events. So this is my storage clipboard. I like it because inside there's room for a decent amount of stuff. Now, when you go to a Comic-Con, you may want to pre-purchase your autograph or photo op, and then you actually have a piece of paper that you print out and has a QR code on it that they scan at the booth there. So this is just a nice way to keep yourself in order. But in addition to that, when you get your photo ops at Comic-Con, if that is something that you care to do, it's a piece of paper, so you don't really just want to like throw it in your backpack. A folder will do okay. Now you can buy at the conventions. They have these little like side loaders, I think they're called. It is basically, think like those plastic protectors that you may have put your Pokemon cards in at one point. That's what this is. This is 2 pieces of thin plastic that have been fused together around the edges. Has an open side that you can slide your photo op into. Just keeps it from getting it keeps it from getting scuffed up. The nice thing is you can actually double use these if you're getting multiple photo ops. You know, you can have one facing out the other and then put another one in the back, so you kind of have like one picture on each side. It'll also work for table photos. So the celebrities, if you aren't bringing something to get signed, they'll have 8x10 photos at their table. They'll just, Sharpie your autograph onto, which is a fine way to get autographs. And those are a standard 8x10, just like your photo ops. So these are handy. Most vendors or the photo op people will have them for about $5. I've acquired a couple of them over the years. They're reusable. Bring it back next time. It is a solid pickup. In addition to having room for paperwork and stuff, I've also found that this is a nice place to store your paint pens or your markers or anything you're carrying. So I carry a decent amount of paint pens when I go to my conventions. I kind of plan out like what autographs I'm going to get, and then if I have a particular color I want. So that's a good place to store that. Another thing I carry is I like to carry stickers with my channel logo. They are nice and secure in there. Business cards about the channel, nice and secure in there. And usually, just because it's always handy, I always have like a pen or two. So I don't really have too many pen autographs, but this is an excellent storage method for that. and it fits in the backpack, and it's nice and slim and doesn't get in the way of anything. So, a question that Jackson asked me is, what protectors do I use, and where do I get them from? So, for my Funko Pops, I prefer to use the Funko Pop stacks. They range from $8 to like $11, depending on what store you buy them at. Walmart, you're closer to $8. You go to like a collectible shop or GameStop, you're talking more like $10. But excellent solution here. I don't really like the thin plastic protectors for Pops, especially since these are an option. They are acrylic plastic. They are sturdy. You are not going to hurt your autograph in here. It is safe. And it is perfect. You just get your autograph, you put it in there, and then you can put this in your backpack. I like to also put these inside of a shopping bag in the backpack just because I'm afraid of getting like scratches on the protector. Just not that it would damage your autograph, but then it just has scuffs on it and it just looks a little unsightly on the case. So I like to keep the case nice too. But this will keep your autograph nice and safe in the backpack. And the nice thing is the Funko Pop stacks and a lot of the off-brand ones too, which are fine. I have a mix. They actually have like these little like channels and grooves on the top and bottom, so when you display them, they'll actually kind of like stack, hence the name Pop Stacks, but they'll lock together, so you know, not quite like a Lego where they snap together, but it's stable, it's secure. It's a nice way to store your Funko Pops. Now, for Black Series, because I have a fair amount of Black Series autographed, there's not a great option like there are for these with the acrylic stacks. For these Black Series, I will use an acrylic, I will use a flexible plastic protector. It's basically the same type of plastic that's the window of the action figure. With these, you have to be a little bit more careful carrying your action figures around in your backpack. You're nice and fine, just make sure that you're not getting bumped into or you're not backing into things. They will protect to a degree. They're almost more a dust sleeve than anything, because you don't want to get dust on your autographs, because think, your figure gets all dusty, you go to wipe that dust off, you just streaked up your autograph. You'll get away with it a few times, but it's good to keep it covered up, nice and out of the elements, if you will. This is definitely the way to go if if you're doing Black Series autographs. I mean, just think about it. Yeah, especially if you weren't using anything. I mean, you get yourself a nice Black Series and you get yourself a nice autograph on it, and hopefully you're not going to be as rambunctious or anything. But you put it in your backpack, you go, you walk around the convention all day, and at the end of the day, yeah, you're probably going to have some foxing on the corners and stuff. But you actually put it in that protector, it'll protect it a little bit, it'll stop your Sharpie or paint pen from getting scraped off. So it is just ultimately the way to go. Get some protectors for whatever you're getting signed. There's been things I've gotten signed where there's not been a great option. Something I'll bring in here. It's like a lot of the Doctor Who sonic screwdrivers I've got signed are in like a cylindrical tube. And what do you do at that point? Because there's not really a great protector for those. For those, I'll typically just put them in a couple wraps of like high bubble wrap and slip them in the backpack that way, and that will keep them nice and safe. But same with the soft protectors. It's just not, it's not as perfect as a pop stack. Excuse me. All right. So next, what paint pens do I like to use? So personally, I'm very much a paint pen guy at this point. I have autographs that were done in Sharpie. I'm not unhappy that I have the autographs. I think some of them I'd like to go back and get redone at other events with proper paint pen. It just stands out a lot more, and Sharpie can get streaky. When you get a nice brand new out of the package Sharpie, it's nice and bold and you're going to get some good line work, but after a couple hours of scribbling the name over and over again, that Sharpie the celebrity has is getting pretty tired. So while I don't use the Sharpie markers anymore, I am very fond of Sharpie paint pens. I like to use the medium point ones. Their point is basically the same as a normal Sharpie marker. So you know that you're going to get a decently bold autograph out of it. They come in a variety of colors. Orange is a popular one. Some others I have, red, purple, blue, green, another orange. Something that I found is paint pens tend to dry up after some time. I'm a little bit nervous to ever reuse them. Now, if I'm going to Comic-Con and I have two people I want to meet and I want them to both be in the same color blue, yeah, I'll use the same paint pen for both. But this orange paint pen got opened about a month ago. It still seems to work fine when I try it on pieces of paper or cardboard, but I just know if I go up to a celebrity, that's when it's going to fail and it's going to come streaky. So for every event, I try to get some fresh paint pens. You can get a 5-pack of paint pens at Walmart, the orange, green, blue, purple, and there's a pink one. You can get that 5-pack at Walmart for $15, and then you got a variety of colors, and they'll cover a lot of your bases. You can try your local hobby stores, Hobby Lobby, Michaels, Joann Fabrics. I've actually found at a Hobby Lobby recently. Now, at those stores, they'll also sell them separately. You can just buy one singular pen. At a Hobby Lobby I was at not too long ago, they had every single Sharpie paint pen marked down to 99 cents instead of their usual $3. So I bought a few of them that are just in colors that I feel I might use at some point, you know, so I have like the orange clearance stickers on them. So pretty satisfied with those. But yeah, and these are all the medium point. If you don't want to use a bright color, if you're talking about a metallic, Sharpie also has white and black, by the way, it's not just colors. Sharpie has a silver, I don't dislike it. They have a gold, I've never tried it. But Deco Color, they sell these at Walmart and also craft stores. I bought one at a Joann Fabrics with Aiden at Pensacon this year. Deco Color Premium Prime. This gold paint pen right here, it is insane. It is a rich gold leaf finish. Basically, the autograph is shiny once it dries. It has a metallic luster to it, bringing out the Sean Gunn autograph I got at Fan Expo Cleveland here. It catches the light. It's metallic. I mean, it looks really good. I'm incredibly happy with this paint pen. Anytime I use it, I've been satisfied. This paint pen, I had an issue with Sean Gunn. I talked about it at that convention, not with Sean Gunn, but with the autograph. I'd shaken it up real good. I blotted it on a Post-it note in line. It was ready to go, and then I stood in his line for like 20 more minutes like a dunce, holding it straight upright, letting all that paint trickle down. He signed it. It was very watery. There wasn't a lot of pigment in the paint, and so it was clear with little gold flecks in it. Kind of looked crummy. I came back later, and he was totally cool with it and signed over it after so basically, prep it when you're right there.
Hey everyone, Future Hybrid here. When I was editing, I realized that I completely forgot an important point about the paint pens. The reason that I like the Sharpie and that one gold one I show off is because they are an oil-based paint pen. Oil-based sticks to the plastic of the bubbles or the high-gloss card back if you choose to go that route. Much better than an acrylic-based paint pen. Acrylic really sticks to canvas well, so if you were going to get like an art print on a canvas done, that'd be awesome. But even like a high gloss photo, the oil-based paint pen just really sticks. So if you're going to go and experiment with a different brand, just maybe get a particular shade or color, make sure you're not getting an acrylic because it'll stay nice while it's wet, and once it dries, it'll be able to be chipped off really, really easily, whereas the oil base is kind of like a stickier adhesion, so it just looks a lot better and it lasts better. So just a note.
Now another thing, I also try not to open and prep my paint pens until I'm through their line to them, basically, like 2 or 3 people away. Because a lot of the time, celebrities will come with paint pens. And then in that case, why take the plastic off of your paint pen and blot it, especially if you see the color that you want. When I met Daniel Logan recently, he had an orange paint pen. I had this in my backpack, but he had an orange paint pen and it was ready to roll, so I didn't even open this orange paint pen. This is an older one. So just some preparation there. Make sure your paint pens are ready to roll. And I like the Sharpie paint pens or the Deco Color Premium Prime. I've used the gold. They have a silver. I've not tried the silver yet. If it's half of what the gold is, it would still be a spectacular silver. All right. Another question from Jackson. Are cons cash only? Basically, yes. So it is up to the vendors and the celebrities to bring like a card reader, one of those square readers, if they want to. Cash is considered to be king. So think, those square readers are internet dependent, right? And you are in a building that sometimes provides Wi-Fi, but even if it doesn't, then you're using data. But you are in a crowd of thousands of people that are all trying to use that same Wi-Fi. Anytime that I've gone to a vendor and tried to use a card, it always times out and doesn't go through because the internet's just bogged down. They'll have ATMs at the event, don't expect them to have money in them. I mean, they do at the beginning of the day, but you have thousands of people, and so many of them roll up with their credit or debit card, and yeah, we're cash only. Okay, and they go to the ATM. How many people have gone through that ATM? They run out, and maybe they refill it daily. But, just if you have a budget, if you know what you're going to be working with, bring it in cash, because they'll never say no to cash. There's never anything at a convention that is card only. I take that back. Sometimes the venues will have like food stations, and those will be card only, but they're like hardwired, into the internet. They're not using the Wi-Fi, so they'll have a better signal at that point. But I've been to venues where I've only brought cash and not even had anything on my card, and like I want to go and buy a sandwich, when I've got a lull, and it's just like, hey, card only. And I'm like, wow, that is unfortunate. So bring cash. Bring the majority of your money in cash. If you know that you're getting these 3 autographs and each one is $50 each, bring $150 in cash, because you're not gonna have much luck. Typically, I've found you might, but not always. So cash only. Please pardon that interruption. Ood was being a cat. All right. So photo op etiquette. Basically, your photo ops are like a subcontractor, sort of hired help for the weekend. They'll hire a local photography studio to come in, set up their booths, bring their lighting equipment, snap photos. So when you go to your photo op, you're in that line. All they're there to do is to snap that 300 pictures with a celebrity and get on to the next one. So if you are getting an autograph, the photo op booth is not the place to do it. There's going to be an area where the celebrities are doing their signings all day long. They will depart that area briefly to go to the photo op area to take photos there. So if you are getting both an autograph and a photo op, you're going to different places. And the only exception to that is if you're not getting a true photo op, if you're getting like a selfie with a celebrity, they'll do that at their table with the autographs. So basically, when you're at the photo op area, don't do anything but get your photo op, and then go get in line for your autograph if you haven't gotten it yet. All right. Another thing that I've seen, and there has been some stories on this one, so I will keep them summarized. But is pre-sale a requirement? No, but all right. So let me elaborate. There's a certain YouTuber, Hybrid Toy Reviews, who's going to ICCC this weekend. They're doing a Star Wars Rebels reunion. They have everyone but Kanan coming. He was, but he canceled. So they have Ezra, Zeb, Sabine, and Hera all going to be there. It's going to be a great time. Now, Hybrid Toy Reviews waited. He played the long game. Basically, he was busy paying bills before he could buy his autographs and stuff. Being a grown-up, being responsible. The day came where he went to buy his autographs, and Steve Bloom had sold out, meaning he can't get a Zeb autograph. So at this Rebels reunion, I'm meeting Ezra, Hera, Sabine, and not Zeb, because he's sold out online. Now, there is a modicum of a chance that maybe he'll get through his autographs at the event and then have more time, and then you can come up with cash. But basically, as of right now, if you want to meet Steve Bloom at ICCC and you don't have a pre-purchase autograph from him, you're not meeting Steve Bloom at ICCC. And that's how it goes. They assume, hey, just think about how long it takes you to sign your name, on a check or a paperwork or whatever. Now, in addition to just squiggling your name, you got to say hi, bye, have a moment of conversation with everyone. How many people can a celebrity truly meet in one day, even if they're just sitting at their table, from 9 to 5? You're still talking just a few hundred, maybe 1,000, if they're really rushing it. So I'm guessing that they have a number that they're like, hey, this is the reasonable amount that we can ask. And they've met that number. So I'm not meeting Steve Bloom this go around. It sucks, but he goes to a fair amount of conventions, so I'll get another go down the road. But yeah, so if you don't pre-purchase, there is that risk that it'll sell out. And if pre-purchase sells out, they won't let you in line if you don't have that pre-purchase set up. And that's at any event. Another thing is pre-purchasing your autograph or your photo op does not let you in the building. My friend Aiden down in Florida actually just had an experience. He went to an event at Orlando the other day, and they had Millie Bobby Brown, 11 from Stranger Things. If I wasn't doing ICCC in a few days, I would have flown down for this. And they had a pre-purchase. and you could pre-purchase your autograph and your photo op with her. And that's one where she is such a big name now, where if you don't pre-purchase it, don't assume you're going to meet her. And they actually had an issue. They were talking on, I think he said they were like talking on the Overcom, whatever, that there were so many people there that had bought their autograph online, but they sold out of Saturday admission tickets where they had just met, you know, whatever. I assume that they based it off of fire code, where, you know, hey, the building's only allowed to have this many people in it, so you can't sell more than that number of tickets. You can't even sell that number of tickets because you have staff and vendors and everything that are going to be there, so you have to actually have a decent cut below whatever your fire code is. So, like, there were people that bought her autograph, but they're not going to be allowed to go near her. We never saw what the resolution to that was going to be. But, I mean, that's just a situation where you shouldn't necessarily put yourself in it. Typically, I find that the first thing I like to do is buy my admission, because at least I'm guaranteed in. But if you're buying your admission, buy your autographs. You know, there's never a guarantee. Something that I found at GalaxyCon Columbus in December. I was there. That was where I met Jodie Whittaker and Rosario Dawson, who is the live-action Ahsoka Tano. I pre-purchased her autograph because I knew she was going to be popular, and she's got her own show coming in addition to being Ahsoka Tano. So I pre-purchased that autograph, and just to get through all of the pre-sale autographs, she had to stay an hour after the event ended, which is where I was. I was there for about 45 minutes into that hour, and there was only a few people behind me at that point. I was like at the back of the line. So even pre-sale, you're potentially going to be dedicating a decent chunk of time to a line. So if pre-sale is ever an option and it's not someone that you can go without, definitely go with pre-sale. So that is basically all the con tips I can think of off the top of my head. This Topical Tuesday, I'm sure, has gone on very long and very rambly, so sorry about that. Hopefully this has been informative and helpful to any of my friends going to ICCC. I hope you guys have a great time there. I'm excited to see you there. For anyone watching this that's going to be at ICCC, I'm super excited to meet you there. Come up, say hello. If you want, I've got the Hybrid Toy Review stickers I will be handing out to anyone that says hello. I'm waiting on them in the mail. We also have Creators Guild stickers coming. I'm going to hand those out to all the guild members. Come up to any of us, come say hello. We'll definitely talk to everyone. We're always glad to talk Star Wars and YouTube and all this wonderful internet stuff that's brought us together. So I'm going to go get to work on some other videos. Thanks for watching. Until next time, have a great day. See you later. Bye.